Hi, we'll go ahead and go over a few things here. 3152.7 reverse trigonal of Democrats aim for 1.9 trillion COVID relief bill week of Feb 22nd. Brock watched Johnny G of BATV while eating original chicken sandwich cold from Wendy's night of Castaway Phone 5 days after Dustin Neil Diamond died. 10109 reverse satanic, 2121 Jewish ordinal, which is Eucharos timely. Okay. So I'm using a new phone. I got a new phone, but it's all messed up because I think because I created the YouTube account, it's saying fraud or something. Something is fraudulent on my mom's account for AT&T. So I'm trying to figure that out. So I can't make any calls or anything, but hopefully I can upload this video, and I do have internet access. So thank Lord Jesus. I broke my phone, as this gematria phrase says, and just been getting by, with just doing whatever. But so this happened, and the Dustin Neil Diamond seemed to be a 3 day for the 368 would be, as Jesus is like 367, so Dustin Neil Diamond would be 368, which means like you made it past the game or something. And Jesus was the laces are in, but that's as his Jewish stuff. For the Gentiles, it was all perfect. And you see, I'm seeing that Idris Elba was the perfect Dogon Jesus, and that he cut off because he didn't have the stuff for the hook of the tech, the hook is the Jesse, that he went 368 but didn't have the extra 2 days. So he was perfect Dogon. That's why they say the Black Jesus, because Idris Elba is perfect in that sense of the deal. I know this is crazy. Please forgive me. Um, so now you get this here, this 67, 59. Now these numbers, we're seeing a theme with these numbers, okay? Let me get this to focus. And that basically 120 days started on either today or yesterday, and that you get these left from the FC there. The FC would be these, and that you get these days left of it all. So, all right. So we don't have to look at all that, I don't think, but so this here, take a look at this. Um, so when I talked to Granby, she basically said Lamech was what it was in the coding of what she said. None of it was literal. Now you see, H's dreams are literal. He tells me in basic language without flipping it or whatever what happened in the dream. But with Granby, I had to read in between the lines, and it was like I had to do the code on it. So it turned out to be Lamech. Okay. So now this is kind of like Lamech here. Now we're gonna go over all this. I'm showing you the information. Okay. So now take a look at all this. Okay. Um, Now, of course, this is a bikini photo of this girl, but in the coding of the breaking down of it, it actually breaks down to something very, very spiritual. This whole gematria phrase here, and it doesn't have anything to do with the girl, Paige Woolen or whatever, but it's all symbolism. So um, now we've got that. So wanted to get this as well. Let me get this real quick here. I never showed this one. I don't think I did, but just look at these two. Okay, we don't have to look at everything, every single thing here, because we've gone over so much of this stuff. But take a look at these two that are under the lines there, and so take a look at these two. Okay. 2 February 8ths. Okay. And I tried to find these on Wikipedia. I could not find them when I was looking for them the other day. And then I tried to look for the video, and I nearly freaked out looking for the video because I thought that I showed this, and I guess I hadn't. And then I went through all of my laminates, and I found the ones that I hadn't shown, and um, I've got them separated. So if we have time, I'll go over them. If we need to, if I feel like we really really need to, but and I was gonna make a big video with them on it, and it turned out to be 40 minutes long, and then I couldn't upload it on the iPad because my brother gave me his old iPad, and I couldn't upload it because I don't have the Apple ID. So that was a total waste of time, but um, so much of it we had gone over. So I don't think it's all pressing. But this right now is pressing. What I'm going to go over right now. So do we have this? Okay, these two February 8ths. Okay, is what this is here. So I thought that was very important. Timelines with that. Um, so let's see if we have all this here. Okay. Um, so then this here, this is the new stuff. Okay. This is a new it creature. Okay. Mills from Seven Film with a small Japanese macaque right arm. It's the same length. It's just a small arm. Okay. So but it might not even be proportional to his left. Shoots Spacey's left leg kneecap at ending, but doesn't kill him. Now this happened. This this is a galactic thing. So fastest reader in the universe is how he's different from the portrayal in the movie. Wears boots, balding and he's balding on his head. Okay, but he does kind of look like the Brad Pitt or whatever. So, in the Galactic National Guard for Outback. Now, like they would protect the outback of Australia or something. So, you Aboriginal shaman, water focuser, like Goldblum, but swimmer that way, where they would move the water to where you're kind of swimming, and it's like you're swimming in air a little bit, the way that they can manipulate the water. So it's like they're getting a workout in. They're not just spinning their arms in air. Excuse me, but they could focus the water. These guys, they could focus the water, and what it was they trained with Russians who built homes in the outback. They were all training this way, and they were called the endorsed tradesmen, which means they can manipulate the water that way. And because of that, they learn trades by the training that way. Um, and then they only do the trade work for 4.221 hours. Then Aboriginals do the rest. So if you're familiar with construction or anything, it's long hours. It's basically the whole day. You know, you get done at like 5, you get there at like 6 in the morning, go to 5. You know, it's the whole day plus weekends. So, and you know, some of that construction goes on at night for the guys working the roads and stuff with the yellow shirts and, you know, the highlighted stripes on the shirts. Like, they go all night for some of this stuff, you know, and some of the work has to be done at night. So, what these Russians were doing with these they were the ones that were doing this. These swimmers, focusers, with the Aboriginal shaman and the Russians and these Galactic National Guard, um, for the outback, is they had these big pools in the outback and they were swimming, focusing, and they were learning their trades that way. And then they would work for 4.221 hours and then switch off with the Aboriginals. So they were very balanced. Like, they didn't overwork or anything. And I do understand that, like UPS and stuff, I've heard that they have jobs where they go 4 hours, you know, just doing boxes or something, moving boxes, and then you're done after that. Like, you just go to your shift and then you're done. They rotate people out. Well, this was kind of similar, but it was a whole system here. And, you know, one of these guys was a detective as well, you know, doing all of that stuff that Mills does in the Seven film with Morgan Freeman. So then his other parts were an End from Middle Earth and a hexapede with head of a mosquito. Now, what it is this right here, okay? John F. Fisk, December 14th, 1815, from, if you go to Berea McGoffin, you'll find him, and he is the hexapede mosquito. Okay. And then this, what you call a quilcher, creating of music images to separate Ents from Ent women turned human by Bothans. And he would strengthen the roots of the Ent men that way, showing them these images of music of the quilcher stuff, and gave Ents forceability. So they were kind of like the Netties a little bit, but on Middle Earth, and still looked like Ents. An ability to use plants, um, plants as skin, flush rivets, branches, gave multiple arms like Hindu, and that's the origination of the Hindu multiple arms. That's what it comes from, is this quilcher stuff. That's what it comes from, the multiple arms of Hindu. It can represent reincarnations, or it can represent this quilcher stuff. You know, people say it's reincarnations, but I think that this is what it was, because it was different from that they were separating the women so that they wouldn't be tempted with the women this way. The tree, because the tree has to remain a pure entity. You know, that's like the tree itself. You know, you get into the serpent and the actual tree. You know, was the tree bad? You know, was the tree itself evil? You know, the tree is the originator of it. Like, you know, so they were getting into stuff like choice and all that. Like, it's, you know, like they knew it all. It's like on Grok's channel kind of. Like you know the game, you know Revelation 12, then it's like you play a part knowing what you're doing is evil or good. It's like it's both, you know. And they were struggling with that, so they had this quilter to deal with that, to be actual living, you know, to be living and and to be the original part of it, if that makes sense. So that they felt like they were alive because they were being persecuted by the women that way. The women were like, you guys aren't making the choices, like we're human now, like you guys are just that old school old guy stuff, like we, you know, like you don't actually live your life, you know. And but the quilter made it so that they could they could live their life and make the choices and and still be the originator. That's why they have the multiple arms, like Hindu. They that was their symbolism, was the multiple arms, because they had conquered both. They had conquered knowing game and being no living in actuality. Okay, if that makes sense. All right, so that's the quilter stuff, and this was the end, mid earth. Okay, Middle Earth. Okay, so of this here, of this. Okay, all right. So what it was this is the 777 of Lamech. Okay, we're looking at Lamech now. And I'm going to go over it. Okay, Lamech. So the 777 was now Granby just said Lamech, but I had done already writings on it. Now we're finishing it. Okay, so the Lamech was first the Ent, then Mills, then F Fisk. Okay, and that was as the Taft. That was as the Taft. Okay, type, not Taft himself, but a Taft type. Okay, that's what that was. So all right. So then we need to go over real quick. What is Lamech? Okay, like what are you talking about, Brock? What is Lamech? Okay. Um. So let's go to it. Here, what Granby said was read a book, 2 hours or so, says Granby, um, on 2021 6 Feb, 4:45 p.m. call. Okay. That's what she said that stood out. Then I talked to my Uncle Mark. He said, um, as long as you're not around anyone, should be fine, he said. And he was watching on the waterfront. Okay. And that was a 5:51 p.m. pack, 6 Feb, 2021. So I don't know. I probably read into it too much, you know, just sitting there and, you know, broke my phone and everything. It's probably stupid, but I think that this was something. I do. I think it was. We had that Dustin Neil Diamond. Like, we had some stuff going on. So, um, so you get Trash Mac in Space Catholic Church, okay? Because you look at Ajax So, which is the I think it was Game of Thrones. This guy was named Ajax, but his symbolism or his name. So all right. So Lamech was a space space Catholic Church. Okay, and was as Mac Dillon connection. Um, and was as Carl Weathers and Apollo Creed. Okay, Carl Weathers and Apollo Creed. Now, some people might say that this was Mesopotamia. That was the Mesopotamia king is different from Chushan Rishathaim. That it's two separate people, and that Chushan Rishathaim was as King Agamemnon to the Ithaca king Mesopotamia, in the tent, like they were having a meeting, all the kings. So so that's just an idea. But if you look at Carl Weathers and Apollo Creed, um, and that I used to get those mixed up on Brock the Rock channel, that was by design because um, Lando Carlisian equals the G training in the water like Aussies, okay, and that the would watch that. Girls would watch, um, and they would Han, which is the Beetlejuice, which means what this means is that the girls would Han as the chaotic victory, and that they use the girls. Okay, chaotic victory, and they use the girls. That was what that meant. That's Beetlejuice is what that meant. And so you can say it's in the gladiator sense or something, but that would be more like the girls using the guys, but these people would use the girls. So, and you get boxer like fighting, or B-ox, ERS, B-ox, the Eve are Han of it, right? Excuse me. So, and then you get Dragon Ball because this is on the Cloud City. So it's like Lando Carlisian with Apollo Creed, that they were doing something in space with a Catholic Church setup in space. Okay? And that they were saying look at what's going on, look at what they're doing. They are doing stuff with the butt, and we're not doing that, but we are fighters, we are strong, and we're the Catholic Church in strength, but we're not doing the weird stuff, is what that was. Okay, so that's Lamech. Then the angel, for 10 years in 333 for Angelina, because Angelina, remember, in Gone in 60 Seconds, she is literal. She is literal. She does not speak the language of 5 Canaan, right? She does not speak that language. She is literal. She does not speak that language. So now I won tennis match first time in versus BA and Dad on 8 Feb 2021. I don't know if that meant anything, but when I typed it in, I got Dodge. I got Dodge G or something. It was crazy. It read as a son of well, really it's Paul Walker stuff, but because of what had happened with Whistler and Blade symbolism, he didn't. I don't know if he did the 347. So the Son of Man has taken over the 3 of the 47, and one is Fukushima. One is Fukushima. One is 9/11, and the other one would be after Euphrates. Okay, if we want to count this one, but I don't know if it counts. But there was a Han of, get this, there was a Han of BTL GEUC had my boots on, right? Had my boots on. So it went a little bit different, you know. But yes, I was young. Patrick Mahomes said he was 6 years old. Brad Pitt said he was 6 years old. I was about six. You know, didn't have any girls, but probably was looked upon as that. And here, I told you I screwed up with the girls at SCAT a little bit, and um, you know, just in text or whatever, but they probably looked at, it's how they look at you. I didn't do anything. It's how you are perceived. Okay. So that would be the Lamech, and the 95 of Lamech is this here. This is the 95 of Lamech. I think it's 595, and that's Lamech, and we have um we have all this. Okay? So this should show up. Let's go over this one real quick, and then we'll stop the video. Rajiv Kapoor, hand not hid on chest, died. No wonder it's so easy to screw up your eyes, Amanda says on CNN. Colton Sabrock tear at Carl's Jr. on Feb 9 Boba. Just like a tired, little tear. But don't ever let them see you bleed, says Q. Complexity of the task from the start. Russian interference was designed to destabilize, divide, and weaken Ukraine, so the best response is to stay united and keep working toward the prosperity is foreseen under Article 29 of the Association Agreement 5 years after its entry into force. 1717.5 Satanic, 147.49, 8900 Relation. 1388.67, 1350 Relation. 52.700 Reverse Trigonal. 73063 Reverse Extend. 266, 91, 37, 516 Relation. Okay. Wanted to show that. So, all right. I think we got it. Thank you, and have a good night.